And the only way that we're going to see it better tomorrow was pretty much to have some tradition to carry on. And that's the whole idea of being here right now. Everything that we're learning, everything that we're going through, we're pretty much just setting the tone so it'll be easier for my son and his kids. You understand? So we just don't want to see any more wasted information in this age of information. So that's the whole piece, man.
Unity. Just here to learn, because eventually, you know, we try to get something together. We can help the youth out, and this is just really uplifting to me. Each time I come here, it makes me more motivated.
It's really passion of mine to be able to collect and see all these resources.
And just understand the importance of our subconscious mind. So when we think about sub, the first thing that I want you to think about is just the root word of it. Sub. When sub comes to mind, we automatically think of underneath. Underneath. What's underneath? What's inside? I had a dream one day. So in the dream, it's like an ocean, and it was an iceberg. Iceberg sitting outside the ocean, and then it was all this that was underneath the water. We're gonna say this represents maybe 5%, possibly 10%, and this is 95% of you. They say we use less than 5% of our brain, but this is the other 95% right here. Now, I remember a guy, man, Anthony Browder, when he broke it down, he said that using 5% of your brain is pretty much equivalent to being awake 1 hour a day. And I thought to myself, like, wow, that's so powerful, because can you think of like what you could accomplish if you was awake maybe just half of that, 12 hours a day. So when I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about it, I'm saying, wow, like 5% right now is us consciously in this room. But the thing is though, what we are conscious about, it doesn't even matter. It's really about our unconscious, our subconscious mind when it comes to behavior. And I think most of us, man, we walk around and we pretty much allowing different things to control our lives. But the thing is, we're not even aware of it. So when you meet a female, when you walk around and you meet a female, and it's funny, you talk to people, they meet women all the time. And when they talk to somebody, they say, dang, man, she seemed like a good lady, she seemed like a third person. But the only thing you're meeting is that right there. You could go maybe 6 months, and if you dealing with this right here, like anybody, I can make this seem cool. I can make myself seem like a righteous person. But this 95% right here, like this is what it's about. So the thing is, when I'm looking at this 5%, man, it's almost like I always grew up thinking that it doesn't matter. Like what I do sometimes, it really don't matter. I figured that it didn't matter because I always appeared to be this certain way in the public. So in the public eye, when I was this person, people look, they saying like, oh yeah, this is a nice person, this is a cool individual. But if you're not like that on the subconscious level, if you're not really like that down and under, like it doesn't even matter. So the whole piece is though, how can we move our subconscious? Because if consciously I wake up New Year's resolution 2015, I decide, you know what? This summer, I'm losing weight, I'm getting a 6-pack, and I'm about to change my life. I'm getting tired of being fat, sloppy. I have to do something with my body. Consciously, I decided to do that. But on a subconscious level, I'm really not ready for that change. Do you think this is gonna move? Not at all. And the whole piece is, how can you move this? How can you move yourself in a direction on a subconscious level? And that's that piece about behavior. And this is the thing that I really don't think that we understand. It's like our people, man. When I say our people, it's like our culture. Like, we victims, man. And I hate to be saying we victims, but it's like we're taken advantage of. We watch TV so many hours a day. Like, it's so many things that influence us more than each other. But we don't even understand the way these things are influencing as far as clothing brands, everything. So the piece is though, how can I get myself, if I want to start losing weight, to start losing this weight? Alright, so first, how can I speak to my subconscious? Now, looking into this, prior to even talking about this, I had to do some things of my own. And one thing that I had to learn was, wow, if I want to really start losing weight, I got to look at the benefits of losing weight. So then I would get a feeling. And if I get a feeling that, you know what, like I don't need to do this no more because of this, I really have, like the reasons have to be big. So the thing is, the reason that I want to work out is because what? Let's say heart disease being the leading cause of death. Alright? Just obesity, the whole physical piece, you know? Say, I want to be able to run around and play sports with my son and my kids and his kids as they get older. Alright? These are a number of things. The list will go on. Now once I build up all these reasons that I don't want to do something, then possibly that behavior can change. But the only way that I could change my behavior is changing my perspective. And the issue is, our perspective is messed up. Our perspective is not in line. So if your perspective is not in line, like how can you expect to change your behavior? If we look at something that's simple, growing up, say all our lives, the first thing somebody would say when we was young, they'd be like, man, you ain't getting no girls. And it was always accepted for a man to have a lot of girlfriends. It was always expected for a man to deal with a lot of females. So on a subconscious level, I always thought this was cool. Meaning that consciously, if someone's telling me, it didn't even matter. Because on a subconscious level, it's been embedded in me to be this way. And all of the behaviors that you pretty much do on a daily basis, you think it's alright, you think it's cool. But if we somehow could really look into a behavior and say, you know what, that ain't cool. So this is why you got families that smoke cigarettes on a daily basis. Their kids end up smoking cigarettes on a daily basis. You got fathers that beat their wives, and then what happens? Their kids end up growing up domestic violence. This whole thing is stemming from what you feel is okay. Because if you didn't think it was cool, you wouldn't do it. And that's the piece. When you think about this, growing up, everybody smoked marijuana. Smoking weed was cool. Nobody was worried about nobody was smoking weed. But if you smoke crack, somebody like, oh, something's wrong with dude. I'm not dealing with this person. He smokes crack. That's not accepted in our culture. So being that that's not accepted, what do? You look down upon it. You don't behave that way because you don't think that it's cool. The same thing. Now think about this though. That's just with smoking crack. That's one thing. But somewhere, somebody feels like it's cool to smoke crack. Nothing wrong with smoking crack. And what happens? Being that you don't feel like anything's wrong with it, you behave this way. So the thing is, I want to bring it to us to really start thinking about these behaviors that we do that is affecting us even though we don't even know it's affecting us. So when we get into this part right here, this is like the TV and how this messes us up. Because when our kids are watching programs, they're not only affected by their neighborhood and seeing what is okay in their neighborhood, they're seeing certain behaviors on TV. And now this behavior is okay to you and it's accepted in your subconscious because of something that's on television that we might not even agree with. For example, gay, lesbian. This is accepted. Like this is pretty much something that people see on a daily basis, and it's accepted because you see it everywhere. On a subconscious level, you're starting to feel like, well, I guess it's alright. You can love whoever you want to love. There's nothing wrong with it. What else? Now, you look at Housewives of Atlanta or some of these shows. I don't even watch them because I understand the impact that it has on our culture. And it's normal for a dude or a man to have a lady, and when he has his lady, to have a side girl. There's nothing wrong with that. for a man to have a side girl. So, if there's nothing wrong with it, how can you ever expect someone to even attempt to change this behavior? Because they don't see that there's anything wrong with it. I always heard that, oh yeah, man, they're entitled to 3 girls. You got your main girl, young girl, and mistress. Like, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have that. There's nothing wrong with that, man. Like, a side girl that help you look straight. You being taught this information, although you may not see the impact that it has on you, man, this is what's wrong. And I remember a rapper years ago, he said, I don't blame you, young boy, I blame you, old head. So that right there is like, man, I don't blame you, I blame the person that taught you that this was cool. And man, this is what we have to change. Like, this is what we have to change. It's our vision. This is what we see and what we think is okay. And I could go on with the list. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to have a $1,000 outfit and not have a certain amount of money in your bank. Like, that's cool. That's like perfectly normal though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool to have a nice car but live in the projects. Like, on a subconscious level, when you see this though, remember, your subconscious, you don't even know that it's working. You don't even, like, your subconscious is all, what do they say, images. So these are all images that you see. So what happens is, when you go into the club and you see bottles, on the conscious level, you might know, like, this guy has bottles over there and I know he doesn't have money. Like, I know he doesn't have money. But on your subconscious, you're like, okay, bottles equals money. This person over there, somebody over there get money. But is that true? Nah, not really. Not most of the time. Most people who popping bottles around here, like, they doing it for attention. So the whole piece is, people see it cool. Like, oh yeah, I got a couple hours, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go pop some bottles. And they think that it's alright. But it's nobody checking them on this behavior. There's no old head in their corner saying, yo, this is not cool. Like, listen what you're doing. My lady came home to me and she was saying she joined the book club. So I said, what book y'all reading? She said, the 50 Shades of Grey. I said, that is not cool. She said, why? I said, because that's like a false reality. Like, that's messing up your subconscious. She said, what do you mean though? Like, I said, listen, man, like, you're reading all that stuff, and then it's like, on the subconscious level, you're going to expect some guy to be that way. And I might not be able to be that guy. Like, and
Get to it.
yeah, like, listen, we're going to, like, get this out of your head right now. Like, I just want you to know that this is messing up your subconscious. So she's laughing about it. But the whole piece, though, man, it's like, it's so many things that's, like, messing up our subconscious, especially with our people. But the most important thing is our behavior. That's messing up the subconscious of the people that we're around. I can tell my son 1,000 things the right way, but if I'm doing 10 the wrong way, he's gonna listen to that 10 because he's seeing that 10 on a daily basis, and that's those images. And that subconscious, those images, those behaviors, everything that he's experiencing is stored in this long-term memory bank, which is your subconscious. And if you don't get your subconscious moving in the right way, you're setting yourself up for failure.